Welcome to the Blessed Children of God family. We are glad to have you. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you would like to join in on some conversations with thought-provoking topics, feel free to join us on Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern Time and Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. We look forward to seeing you there. Continue to be blessed. For your likes, for your shares, for your positive and encouraging comments, for subscribing to this channel, and for your monetary donations to this channel. I just want to simply say thank you. I truly appreciate your support. May God continue to bless and keep you all. Hello. Happy Thursday, everybody. How is everybody doing today? I hope everybody's had a blessed day so far. It's good to be among the living. Please put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. I don't want to go on and you guys can't hear me. So put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Okay, thanks for that. Thanks, Shay. Thanks, Jackson Tabasco, Jamila, Shanice. I said what I said. Abril, thank you all for letting me know that you can hear me. So let me go down the list to see who we have in the chat. I see Shanice, Blue, Charlie's Angel, Larry King, Jamila, Abril, Jackson Tabasco. I said what I said. Shay, who that? And I see El Cid. So what is El Cid saying? Finishing the workday. Okay, El Cid. Don't work too hard. Jackson Tabasco, it's good to see you. How have you been? Hello, Nesto, Shackle, Shuffle, Walk of Shame. How are you today? Thank you for joining. Happy Thursday to you. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. Yeah, we missed you too, Jackson Tabasco. I hope all is well. So thanks again to everybody who may be in the bushes, watching from the bushes. I appreciate your support as well. And for anyone who may be watching the replay, I appreciate your support as well. So before we get started today, y'all, I'm sure you've noticed that Janice is not here. I want to ask you all if you could put praying hands in the chat for Janice. She is ill right now. And so I've been praying, and I hope that you guys will pray with me for her healing. Thank you, Abril. Thank you, Shanice. And Janice, if you're watching, yes, Jackson Tabasco. If you are watching the replay, Janice, I hope you feel the love, and I pray that God heals you totally and that He continues to keep His hands on you. Take care of yourself and do not rush to get back. I definitely understand. Yes, get well soon. So you all see the title. Is your past holding you back? Hey, Wanda. Thank you for joining. Happy Thursday. How are you today? So you don't oh, Shanice says yes. I was getting ready to say you don't have to answer the question if you don't want to. So Shanice was bold enough to say yes. Larry says no. Anybody else want to answer the question? Yes, I am having a lovely day. Thank you, Wanda. Elsie said no, because I blocked my past mentally and physically. Okay, Elsie, that's good. Jamila says no. Jamila, don't forget to give the baby a hug and kiss for me. Shay says she doesn't think so. I said what I said she's not sure. Jackson Tabasco says no, not holding me back. Elsie says her block game is strong. Okay. Thanks, Jamila. So, Abril says, my answer is I don't think I am anymore. Thank God for effective counseling. Okay. And Wanda speaking. So give me a second, y'all. Can y'all do me a favor and make sure that I don't forget to say something about today being 9/11? Somebody remind me, please. Okay, Wanda. Good for you. So, thanks, Shay. Sometimes we actually do allow our past to hold us back. For instance, when you're in the process of becoming a better person, oftentimes the enemy is right there to remind you of your past. Okay, I'm gonna star your comment, Jamila. So hopefully I won't forget to look at the starred comments. But he'll send people to say things like, look at her or look at him, thinking that they are something. I remember when they were this and that and used to do so and so. And sometimes they'll say it behind your back, and then sometimes they'll even say it in your face. But whenever someone tries to remind you of your past, you should remind them that you know, because after all, you were there. Listen, we all have a past. Some of us have past that we're not necessarily proud of, and some people have things in their past that they never want to discuss. But we all have a past, and that's regardless of our age or our background. Now, if you know that God has forgiven you, amen, Abril, our past is not a life sentence. If you know that God has forgiven you of those things that you're not necessarily proud of, or those moments that you're not necessarily proud of, there's no need to be ashamed. Today's scripture verse comes from 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17, and it's the King James Version. Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. Our past is to be used as a point of reference, but never a place of residence. You may hear me say something about my past every now and then. That's not because I'm dwelling on the past, not even because I'm proud of some of those things of the past, but I used my past to show the power of God, how He can create in you a clean heart and He can renew the right spirit in you, and how He can renew your mind and your overall person. Again, our past is to be used as a point of reference, but never a place of residence. Talking about our past should help and not hinder us. Do not let what people have to say or what the enemy puts in your head make you think that you can't have a bright future. When the enemy wants to toy with you and prevent you from fulfilling your God-given purpose, he plays mind games. He'll often make you think that because of your past, you don't deserve to have a bright future or to do better in life. I pray that every child of God learns to recognize his tactics and to call them out when we see them. Remind him that you are not your past. God has forgiven you and you have forgiven yourself. And that with God's grace, you are moving upward and onward. Do your best to stay away from the naysayers who tend to always want to remind you of your past. Sometimes those people are in your family. They want to keep reminding you of your past as though you have amnesia and don't remember. Hey, Scorpio Mama, how are you? Thank you for joining. I hope you're having a great day so far. It's good to see you. So, embrace your newness and continue to head in the right direction. Let me remind you again that it's okay to seek counseling. Although it seems like it's getting better, seeking therapy or counseling is still somewhat of a taboo in the Black community. Getting counseling does not mean that you are crazy. Just like going to the doctor because you discovered something different about your body does not mean that you are about to leave the earth. So you went to the grocery store. Did you pick me up anything, Scorpio Mama? Sometimes we don't get therapy because oh sometimes we don't get therapy because we are too concerned about what other people may think. Hey Joe, thank you for joining. How are you today? Happy Thursday. So be very careful of not doing what's best for you because you are too concerned about pleasing others. Do what's best for you. Sometimes it takes counseling or therapy to help you show up as the best version of yourself. Real says, hey Alice, you're early today. I had to come late, but I'm essence my usual time. He said I'm early. Okay. No, I'm not. But it's great to see you, Real. How are you today? Hope you're having a great day. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. And you made it. That's what matters. You made it. So everybody's speaking to you. So another thing I wanted to say is if you have others dependent on you, especially if you have small children dependent on you, and you know that you need counseling or therapy, you should definitely get it just to, again, make sure that you're showing up as the best version of you. Now, I don't want to offend anyone, but I'm just going to say this. And I hope no one takes it the wrong way. It's all in love. But sometimes we as believers, some say Christians or whatever you want to call yourself, sometimes let me see what I said. Okay, so I said what I said says that in her opinion, some of these jobs have made it okay for people to go to therapy. A lot of them offer it on the insurance plans. That's true. That's true. But what I want to say is sometimes we can get so much into I'm just going to say religion. Um, and it's okay. I would never tell you not to pray. Um, Prayer actually does work, but I just want us to be careful that we are not too holy to recognize and acknowledge when we need help, because I believe that God anoints others to help us. So don't beat yourself up, or and don't try to convince others that they shouldn't get the help they need, because God's going to do it. Yes, God does help us. But what God does is he sends us help in human form a lot of times. And a lot of times we miss our blessing because we are expecting something to fall from the sky, or something to miraculously appear, when God is sending us the help that we need and we're ignoring it. And sometimes God will continue to send you help and you're ignoring it because you're looking for that help in a different form. So never be ashamed of getting the help that you need for your mental, just like you wouldn't be ashamed of getting the help that you need for your physical. So that's what I had to say about that, about your past hindering you. Thank you, Joe. So I want to briefly talk about 9/11. Um, on September 11th, 2001, most of you guys know that I do live in the DC area. And so I remember that day so very well. I remember running late for work that morning, needing gas, and thinking to myself, oh, I can get gas when I thank you, Nestos. I was thinking I can get gas. Really? I said what I said. I was thinking I could get gas when I got off of work. But when I got to work, my coworkers were like gathered around, and we had those little
TV radios, I guess you would call it. And they were gathered around at one co-worker's desk, and they were watching. In the news, they were talking about what happened in New York. And so a couple of us were saying, oh, that could never happen in DC, in the DC area, because there's so much security in this area. And even though I worked in DC and the Pentagon is like on DC Virginia line. Well, next thing I know, well, first of all, it was one plane that hit the towers, and then they announced that another plane hit the twin towers, and then that's when we said, a couple of us said that that could never happen in DC. Well, next thing you know, I don't know how much time passed, y'all, but we hear something and we look out the window and we see smoke. And we got an announcement over the intercom that it was okay for us to leave work. So Jamila says she was in the Bronx taking the kids to school. She said she could see and smell the smoke from all the way downtown. That was the first and last time I've seen New Yorkers support each other. It's what a sad, sad day. And yeah, I want to say something about that too, Jamila, about people supporting each other. Like I said, we were allowed to leave work early. And keep in mind, y'all, I think my light wasn't on for the gas, but I was low on gas. I didn't have enough to get home. Shay said her son was at home watching from the window. Yeah, and my all of my children were no, I take that back. Now my daughter graduated from high school in 2001. So my daughter was at home she was just working part-time. So she was at home. And I don't know why my oldest son was at home, but my youngest son was in school. So anyway, I went to get in my car, and of course I said I needed gas. The traffic was horrible. I had it usually would take me about 45 minutes to get home in traffic. But on that day, it took me over 2 hours to get home. But as far as the traffic was concerned, people were being so nice. The lights were out. No, the traffic lights weren't working. So you had to be courteous to the next driver. And so there were people who were, stopping to let you through and stuff like that. And you could just see the unity among the people. But like I said, I had to get gas. So the gas station that was closest to me, it was literally about 5 minutes away on a regular day. But it took me at least, I want to say at least about 20-25 minutes to get there, right down the street. So Bill said, yes, I remember that, sitting right in class. Yep, Jamila. And before that, when the big blackout happened, but I don't think I was born yet. I said what I said, says she was at work. We had TV monitors all around and everyone froze. Then we all were scrambling to leave to go get our kids out of school. Yeah, it was chaos. It was a chaotic day, but it showed I'll never forget the show of unity among the people. Um, but I did finally get home after I was able to get gas. And then once I got gas, of course, I had to get back in the traffic and try to maneuver my way through. But again, people were being very nice, very courteous. Of course, at that time, I didn't know if anybody I knew was involved in what happened. Let me read comments before I go on. Jamila says, that was a sad day. I was just listening to the news, watching them search for survivors under that rubble. Real said, I believe in the 70s there was a huge blackout in New York and people united so well. They thought it would be looting and craziness, but it was the total opposite. Shay said, Jamila, yes, I thank God my friend survived. Let me pause right there. Like I said, at that time, I didn't know if I knew anyone who was involved in what happened, especially at the Pentagon. So I'm not even sure. I think it was that evening. I think it was later that evening that I found out that a guy that I went to church with was at the Pentagon and they couldn't find his body. Where the plane went in, it was right at his office, I believe. But anyway, this guy, he was one of the nicest people you ever want to meet. And is I remember that 9/11 was on a Tuesday. I never forget that. Because on that Sunday, which was my last time seeing the person that I knew that was there at the Pentagon, I had gotten him. It was he and another guy in the church. They looked like they could be almost twins, and so someone had gotten they had gotten they were announced to become a deacon or something in the church. It was the other guy, but not him. So I was congratulating him, and he was looking at me like I was crazy. It wasn't him; it was the other guy. But anyway, I just remember that was the last time I saw him, the last conversation that I had with him. And I still keep in touch with his widow. I think she's somewhat moved on, but it's something that you would never forget. But I also found out that one of my cousins was supposed to. There were a bunch of kids on the plane that were headed from DC to California, I believe, honor students. And one of my cousins was invited, but his mother, for some reason, his mother did not let him go on the trip. So he was not on the plane. which I think was I just thank God that he wasn't on a plane, but he my cousin who who was almost on that plane ended up graduating with honors because he was still an honor student. He was salutatorian of his high school class, and he ended up doing well for himself, going to college, getting a degree, and graduating with honors. So I thank God for that. But the guy, his name was Jimmy. Jimmy was one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet. I couldn't think of anything bad to say about this man. He was just a wonderful human being. So I'm glad your friend survived, Jamila. So I said what I said, says I bet that made you to never delay getting gas to this day. You're so right. You are so right. I said what I said. Um, I do not I do not um believe in letting the gas go to a certain point because anything can happen. Emergencies occur, anything can happen. So Wanda said my oldest son had nightmares, excuse me, and was super scared for a long time after that. He wouldn't go to my mom's house, who lived in upstate New York, for years after that. Wow. Charlie's Angel says I worked in teleconferencing. Some of our coworkers were at the towers. I had no idea what was happening until I got to the shuttle bus. Yeah, it was a day. Nesto Shackle Shuffle Walk of Shame says, I remember saying to my family on September 10th, verbatim, tomorrow is going to be a tragic day. People will have to call 911 and all we will hear are sirens. Why I said it, I don't know. Wow. Hmm. Jamila said they were all scared. Hey, Shadow. Thanks for joining. How are you today? Happy Thursday. So, Shadow says, I was in Georgia when 911 happened. Me and my brother were panicking, and our mom, she goes there to catch a train to Jersey. Luckily, she didn't have to go that day, but her friend was covered in dirt. Wow. Oh, it was Shay's friend. Y'all, please forgive me. Thank you, Jamila. Jamila so politely said it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being so understanding, Shay. I appreciate it. I'm tired. Yes, I do sometimes. Yeah. Oh, let's talk about that, Jamila. Jamila said I was scared to fly, scared to go on a train. Well, what's crazy is um, that was in 2001. And the first time I ever in my life got on a plane was in 1986. because I was always afraid of being in a plane. And so I had, right before 9/11, I had made up in my mind that I wasn't going to be afraid of flying anymore. And then 9/11 happened. And it wasn't until 14 years later, in 2015, that I got up the nerve to get on a plane again. So, yeah, I definitely understand that. So I said what I said, since I can never understand the conspiracy theories about 911. People can be weird when tragedy happens sometimes. That's true. Shay, you laughing at me? Shay said I didn't go to work the whole week. I was petrified. I'm thinking that I know I didn't go to work the next day, but I really don't remember when I went back to work. I just know I didn't go the next day. But again, that day did show, even though it was a tragic day, it was a day that showed that no matter what your political beliefs are, no matter what your race is, no matter um, what you what your orientation um, is, whatever, no matter what your beliefs are, we all showed unity on that day. Okay, Shay, thank you for admitting that you were laughing at me. You know I'm over 60. You know how that happens. But yeah, so that showed me that we can come together. This country has the ability to come together when we want to. Um, when we, as humans, if we were to, if any of us were to get cut, we will all bleed the same red blood. Right, right. I said what I said. That's right, Scorpio Mama. Old as gold. um, yeah, I said what I said. Ideologies makes no difference when something happens on a national level. Yeah, but it's possible. It is possible for us to come together. Now, with the climate as it is right now, I don't know, but I know that it is possible for us to come together. And that day was definitely proof. Later on, I did find out that someone I went to school with um, was at the Pentagon. I didn't know her personally. I believe she graduated from high school, I think 2 years before I did. So I didn't really know her, but she left behind a daughter. So that, was sad. But I know quite a few people that were there at the Pentagon and did survive. So I thank God that they survived. Um, but it most definitely was a day to remember. And most people, no matter where you were, what you were doing, as you can see in this chat, most people remember where they were, what they were doing on that day, because it's a day to remember. But speaking of the past, we can always take that and we can use it to remind ourselves. We can use that to remind ourselves that it's possible, that unity is possible in this undivided, ununited states of America. We still, there's still a possibility of unity. Yes, Shay, remembering 911, I I don't think I could ever forget that day. And even though it was tragic, I would never forget the unity shown. And that's one of the main things, even though when I think of um, Jimmy, when I think of him, I think, how sad it is that such a nice person, um, such a beautiful human being, left this world like that. But I have great memories of him. Yeah, I said what I said. It's a shame that John Stewart had to fight for as long to get the firefighters that survived treatment that is still needed to this day. Now, I have to do some research to make sure, but I'm almost positive that I heard something about um, the present guy in the White House trying to stop that. I could be wrong, but I thought I heard something about that. But yeah, it was definitely um, a day to remember that I will never forget. Yeah, I don't normally go with conspiracy theories, Scorpio Mama. But anyway, um, I'm I wasn't going to, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and drop the link. But I'm not going to be here too long today. So if anybody wants to come up and share um, about the past and about Jamila, about 911, feel free to hit the link. Um, like I said, I'm not going to be here too long. Yeah, they do that. I read everybody's name every year, which is good. So those people won't be forgotten. And let's not forget about the other plane that um, some of the passengers stopped the people from unaliving more people. So that was also a show of unity. I thought so too, Shay. I thought I heard something about that. Okay. He cut the staff and reduced the grants. Okay. I thought I heard something. Thanks. I said what I said. I thought I heard something. I it's Let me tell you something. We will be here all day if I got to talking. I didn't understand what you're saying, Shay. You said, well, I made it when I stood home today. Oh, my bad. I misread that. See, forgive me. You said you made it a holiday because you stayed home. Okay. All day. Thank you for being so understanding, Shay. I appreciate you. Very patient with me. I'll be right back, y'all. You said you see what they're doing, real? What, laughing at me? Or do you see something else real that I don't see? But anyway, y'all, I'm going to give y'all 2 minutes to see if anybody wants to come up and share anything about um, your past holding you back or about 911. And if nobody hits the link in 2 minutes, I will be ending the live. Yeah, I want to know too, Shay. What happened? Said other stuff. Real, I have no idea of what you're talking about. Oh, yeah, Jamila. Sorry about that. I know you probably would have a lot to say, especially about 911. It's okay. I understand. So one more minute, y'all. If nobody wants to come up, that's fine. Um, we can um end the live. Oh, I understand. I said what I said. Hope you feel better soon too. Hope you're taking plenty of medicine to help you feel better. Um, Not plenty of medicine, but hope you're taking something that helps you feel better. Also, y'all, I want to ask you guys to say a prayer for comedian Michael Allen. I saw that he was in the hospital as well. So um, I'm praying that he feels better real soon as well. And anybody else that may be experiencing any type of illness, I pray for your healing. And as you know, we're all going through something, coming out of something, or getting ready to go through something. So um, it's good to, yeah, it's good to have others lifted in prayer. I believe in treating people the way that I like to be treated. And if I were sick, not feeling well, or just going through something, period, I would want prayers as well. So, anyone who's going through, just know that I am definitely praying for you, and pray that God heals you real soon. So, Jamila says, every day is a struggle for me, but every day above ground is a blessing. Amen. Indeed. Because somebody didn't wake up this morning. You're welcome, Jamila. Yeah. Somebody had plans for today, but they didn't get to see those plans. So let's not take life for granted. Let's show more love than we show more love than we don't show love. And let's practice agape, y'all. Let's show the love of God wherever we go, wherever we are. Let's continue to let our light shine so that some people will never pick up a Bible, but sometimes they can see that God is real just by watching you. So let's be that light, y'all. Let's just be that light. And again, thank you all for joining the live. Thank you for participating in the chat. Thank you to everyone who was here in the bushes and for some reason were not able to participate in the chat for whatever reason. I still appreciate your support. And also to the people who may be watching the replay, you're welcome, Jackson Tabasco. Thank you. It's glad to see you today. Um, Anybody watching the replay, please make sure. Yes, please make sure that you leave a comment after watching the live. And those of you who are watching now, feel free to go back after the live and leave a comment. It actually helps with the algorithm and more people are able to see the video. Yes, my team does play tonight. Let's go Washington Commanders. Where's who that? Is who that still here? Let's go Washington Commanders. Let's beat those cheeseheads tonight. Thanks, Jamila. Did he say what? Don't play with me, real. Real. Don't play with me today, real. Real is he's trying real hard to make me go crazy on him. He said the Washington who? What? You know the Commanders. We won our first game. Oh, let me tell you about your team, Scorpio Mama. They're losers. Your team, you're supporting losers. Thank you. Thank you. I said what I said. You know what? I'm not even gonna put that comment up real. I'm not gonna put it up. And Shay, why you laughing? I was rooting for your team last week. Yeah, y'all some loyal people, Scorpio. Y'all are some loyal people. And every year, y'all going to the Super Bowl. Every year. For what? Half of my life. Y'all going to the Super Bowl every year and can't even make the playoffs. But hey, stay loyal because I was loyal to my team when we weren't doing anything to. um, Shay said, I'm not laughing at him, Miss Alice. That's not nice. But you still laughing, Shay. Shay, you were not right. Oh, thank you, Scorpio Mama, for letting me slide. Y'all need to let that quarterback slide. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I could be here all day talking about football. Um, let's go Washington Commanders. It looks like who that is not in the chat right now, but she is also a Commanders fan. I know that. I'm not sure who else is a Commanders fan. I'm not mad about that, Jackson Tabasco. Okay, now Shay said, let's go, Commanders. Okay, thanks, Shay. Anyway, I love y'all. Um, Real laughing. Real, who is your team? I get it. I get it, Shay. Because I was an Eagles fan for a day too. I get it. Did you see that game, Scorpio Mama? With my team beat the Cowboys? Hush, real. Yeah, that was my team. I have two teams, Scorpio. Washington Commanders and whoever's playing the Cowboys. That's my team. Those are my teams. So yeah, my team beat the Cowboys. Don't laugh at him, Jackson Tabasco. Don't y'all laugh at him. Oh, I forgot, Joe. I forgot you were a Cowboys fan. I'm so sorry. That just shows proof that nobody's perfect. Because you are almost perfect, but you had to be a Cowboys fan. Scorpio says she wants to know who your team is. See, Scorpio, we can't have this stuff. We can't have this right here. That's crazy. That's good that you're loyal. He is. That's good that you are loyal, Joe. But see, you are in Texas. A lot of people in this area, in the DC area, they are Cowboys fans and they can't even point out Texas on a map. So I question, them. But if you are from Texas, I can't blame you for being a fan. Okay. I'm not mad at you. Not at all. Not at all. He talking about he can tolerate the Giants and Chiefs. I said what I said. I want Jerry Jones to stay with the Cowboys. Okay. I do not want him to leave. Well, Jackson Tabasco, I'm not mad at the people in Texas who support the Cowboys because that's their, their home team. But it's the people in the DMV area who are so-called Cowboys fans that can't even point Texas out on a map that get me. It's those people. I don't have a problem with the other ones. Although a lot of women who support the Cowboys as well, they do it because they like the uniforms. They can't tell you anything about football. I asked a friend of mine, I said, I asked her to tell me what was the blue zone. And she said, I don't know. But if she knew football, she would know that there is no blue zone. So, yeah, Jamila, traders. You said Louisianians too? Okay. They're not Saints fans. That's because they're brainwashed to believe that the Cowboys are America's teams. America's team. America's team is in the nation's capital. Okay. So anyway, I love y'all. Let's go. Washington Commanders win tonight. I look forward to bragging about our win tonight. And if we lose, if they cheat and we lose, then I'll eat some humble pie and say, hey, can't win them all. But preferably we'll win tonight. Anyway, um, I was about to say, oh, I am going to have another giveaway. They changed the name. See, Scorpio Mama. They changed their name because they didn't want to offend people. I said what I said, so they need to forfeit that America team title since they have not been to the Super Bowl in years. Yeah, were we kids the last time they were we kids the last time they went to the Super Bowl? I said what I said. Yeah, I mean it's been a long time, so I'm thinking that we were kids. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to have another giveaway. It's going to be the last Thursday in September. So feel free to watch my playlist. Um, familiarize yourself with the channel if you aren't already familiar. Um, I'm going to try to make most of the questions a little difficult, and I'll let you know as we get closer to the date, what rule that I may change. I said what I said. Says Emma is a senior citizen at this point, and they still not going. Hey, Scorpio Mama said a Brill gonna win. So y'all don't forget to like the live if you haven't already. Um, share the video if you like. And if I can't imagine that anyone, especially in the chat, is not subscribed to the channel. But if you're not subscribed to the channel, consider doing so. And hit the notification bell so that you'll know when we're back with another video. With that said, again, God loves you even more than I do, and I really do love you all. Continue to be blessed, but more importantly, continue to be a blessing to someone else. And thanks again for everybody. Oh, I forgot to call the roll, y'all. For everyone who was in the chat, we had Larry King, Jamila, Jackson Tabasco, Hudat, El Cid, Nesto Shackle, Shuffle, Walk of Shame, Wanda, Get It Together Wellness, Scorpio Mama, Joe, Shadow, my moderator, Shanice Blue, Charlie's Angel, Abril, I Said What I Said, and Shay. And thanks again to everyone for whatever support you have given to this channel. I truly appreciate you all. So after the music, we will be ending the live. Yes, I agree. Abril was a winner when she was born. I agree with that. Okay, y'all take care. Love you.